Good morning, good morning. Thank you. It was 70 degrees yesterday, okay? So, welcome to Staff Day, and I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad we're together. Later in this hour, after my comments, we'll welcome new employees, and then we'll hear about those being recognized for their work at Colgate, which is always a very good thing. And right after I speak, we will hear from Laura Jack, Vice President for Communications, who will offer us an update on the planning for Colgate's bicentennial, which we'll celebrate throughout the 2018-19 academic year. Now, just the other day, I sent out to all faculty and staff members a vision statement for Colgate's third century. This same document is being physically mailed to all 32,000 alumni today. I wanted to make sure that all Colgate staff members had the same set of documents that has been sent to the Board of Trustees, to the faculty, and now to all of our alumni. In this document, I posit that there are 4 fundamentals that will guide our future. The first is a commitment to academic rigor. Can we create at Colgate an academic program, an intellectual life marked by reason and informed debate? We live in an era of shouting and an unwillingness to listen to each other. But can we at Colgate create something better, something different, a way to speak to each other around complex issues with decency, empathy, and intelligence? Second, can we extend Colgate's reach and reputation? Can we speak to the world about what Colgate is and what we aspire to be? Third, can we create a community built and enhanced by ritual and ceremony? Great universities have great traditions. Colgate, a nearly 200-year-old university, should celebrate and enrich and evolve our traditions. They're important. This is a ritual, and they're important not only for everyone in this room, but for our faculty, and most important for our students who long to be connected to something bigger than themselves. Finally, as a fourth fundamental for this university, can we just not maintain, but can we enhance this amazing campus? We work on one of America's most important campuses. Can we do even more with it? Over the next several months in each of these areas and in more, and in ways that's going to touch on everyone in this room, we will all make specific plans and begin changing the university as it enters its third century. Faculty and staff are working right now on an arts plan, and in a few years we'll see the middle part of the campus, the middle campus that goes from James C. Colgate down Lolly Lane. Can we make that the new middle campus for the academics, for academic enhancement for arts and for students? Right now, the admissions and financial aid offices are working on ways to expand our admissions efforts beyond even the record number of applications we received this year. Buildings and grounds will soon be part of a new campus landscape plan. In just about 6 weeks, the first wave of bicentennial plantings will begin, and our campus will change dramatically. The advancement officers are planning the university's fundraising campaign for this third century. Might it be the largest in American college history? Steve Fabiani and folks in his division are planning the technology infrastructure for the next 25 years. And over 40 of you in this room this morning are working on a diversity, inclusion, and equity plan, the first one written at Colgate. And there's more, there's always more. Universities, great ones, are always striving to change and improve, and we're all going to be part of that change. But what I really want to say to you this morning is this. Working at Colgate can be hard, and at times it can be very hard. Beneath all the planning for the future are our day jobs, the emails, the phone calls, the meetings, the lawns to be cut, the events to be programmed. And we work in what can often seem to be an overheated environment. If you work at a place which has nearly 3,000 smart and sometimes anxious students and over 300 faculty members seeking not only to teach well, but to make an impact on the world through their research and art, things can get intense here. So our jobs, managing life at Colgate, managing the real day-to-day, can be challenging. Breathe in. Know that this is true. Know that the work of a university, this university, can draw on so many parts of you, and sometimes it feels like you can't do more. And I want to make sure that I said that to you today because I know it. Even on cold days like this, it can be hard. So thank you and thank you. But on this cold February day, it's also important to note that while our students can seem demanding, and they can always seem to be in crisis mode, There are also days when they come into your office and they make you laugh or think, and they amaze you with their energy and brilliance. And there are days when the snow keeps coming down and you're just trying to keep Academic Drive open. But there's also days when you see the lawns cut and the trees leafing out, and you're reminded every day you come to a campus that's beautiful. So we're all in this together, all of us, and in service of this university. But when the grind is intense and when the campus is alive, and we are here now at an important time. We are now in charge of this university in the last years of its second century, shepherding it in our time. We are creating a Colgate that those who will work here in 25 years or 50 years will manage and cherish. This is an awesome responsibility. Right now, as you will hear in just a few minutes, there's an historian writing about Colgate's first 200 years. When someone writes about these first decades of Colgate's third century, what will they write about these years? This is what I think they're going to write about. These were the years of a great academic renaissance at Colgate, a time of growth and intellectual aspiration and reach. These were the years of a new chapter of the arts at Colgate, of the time when the possibility of human creativity found new spaces and new platforms. These were the years when the world took an even greater notice of this university, and students of remarkable achievement sought entry to Colgate in even greater numbers. These were the years when old traditions became reborn and renewed while new ones were created. These are the years when proud tradition met bold ambition. These were the years of incredible athletic triumphs. These were the years when our dorms and residence halls were rebuilt and renewed, and new forms of student community were created. These were the years when the campus was made even more beautiful, an already striking campus made sublime. That is what these 10 years, these 15 years, these 20 years will be, these years. We steward institutions in our time, and this is how we will have stewarded Colgate, and this is what will be written in the next history book. And that's why we're gathered here in this chapel this morning, to remind ourselves of our place in history, to join together because the people in this room are Colgate, and to affirm one another. It's also a chance for me to say thank you. So we must tell ourselves, even when there are too many meetings and too many emails and too many forms to fill out, that we in this room make this university every day, and we make Colgate for the next generation. We live in buildings that other people built. We walk under trees that other people planted. What we're doing now is making the Colgate of 50 years from now. But the bicentennial soon begins and the future calls. And the person who stands before you this morning thanks you for what you've done, what you will do, and what we'll create together. Thank you for not only just managing today, but imagining our next century. And thank you for being Colgate. And I mean that. It's a privilege to be with you every day. It's a privilege to walk around this campus and see all of you. And I know how hard you work. And I know how frustrating it is. It gets frustrating sometimes. And sometimes when the trucks are beeping in front of your house while they're building 2 dorms, it's really early in the morning and you're not happy about it. But then new dorms are built, and that's what we're doing. And I really mean this. I want to thank all of you for being here today. And we're just about to hear from Laura Jack, who's going to talk about a bicentennial, and it's going to be a great year. And then Christopher Wells is going to come up, and we're going to celebrate each other. So it's important, this tradition, that we gather together. And thank you again for just being with me, being with each other, and thank you for making Colgate. So now I'd like to invite Laura Jack to come up and talk about the bicentennial. Thank you.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Okay. So as President Casey mentioned, I'm just going to take a couple moments to talk about the planning that's going forward for our bicentennial. First, I want to recognize we have a fantastic committee that I have the opportunity to co-chair with Jill Harson. Many of these folks have been meeting long before I even got to Colgate to think about what does the bicentennial year look like. So this is our group that meets very regularly, thank you. Does work outside of those meetings in preparation for the year ahead. So the bicentennial, it's coming. Our plan is to start activities in the fall of 2018. We've been planning basically around 4 areas with the objective of looking at how do we discover, explore, and celebrate the past of Colgate, How do we mark this occasion with celebrations on campus and off, as well as how do we articulate what Colgate's future is going to look like? As President Casey talked a little bit about this morning, how do we make sure that that vision is something that the entire community is aware of? So as we mentioned, we are focusing on 4 areas for our planning: the campus itself, events, the history of the institution, as well as outreach. So one of the things we've started to do is look at how can we celebrate on the campus, what types of things, and these are some photos that came up as we were looking to work on our photo book, but what are some ways that we can celebrate on campus? Banners, lights, different activities, signage. And as President Casey mentioned, we'll start planting 200 trees to celebrate the bicentennial in a couple weeks. So that'll be the first signal. And then we have events. Mari Assad and her team has been doing a phenomenal job to plan countless events that will take place on campus as well as around the country for our alumni. But these are some of the dates that we'll be sharing and putting forward to the community, with kickoff around Founders Convocation, and then the Bicentennial Kickoff Week with Family Weekend and Homecoming. Let's see, mention that, okay. Then the history. Obviously, you can't celebrate a bicentennial without looking at the history of the institution. As President Casey mentioned, Jim Smith is working on a new history book for Colgate. Trustee Emeriti Diane Ciccone is working on a documentary looking at the first African-American students that were on this campus. And then faculty and staff around the community are looking at the bicentennial courses, as well as the digital archive, and making sure that all of this information is available. And then lastly, outreach. We are working on redesigning the alumni magazine in conjunction with the kickoff of the bicentennial. We have a photo book that the team is working on putting together, looking at, again, we have such an amazing campus, such a beautiful campus, looking at images spanning the 200 years that people can reflect on and remember, as well as a website to list all of these wonderful events and the history, featuring stories of the Colgate community, as well as what is the vision for the future, sharing more information about that. And then lastly, we're working on the actual brand for the bicentennial. We've been doing some research with a couple firms, Pentagram and Mercury, to understand what does the bicentennial really mean for the community. And as President Casey mentioned, Colgate's unifying, I think, piece is the academic rigor. No matter who we talk to, whether it's prospective students, current students, alumni, faculty and staff, the piece that resonates the most with folks is that Colgate is a place of academic rigor. And there's also a sense of scale and a sense of strength and gravitas that we need to make sure that we recognize. An interesting challenge for the committee has been thinking about how do we incorporate students, because while they recognize that it's an important moment for the institution, it's not really clear to them what this means for them and their time here. So we've been spending some time talking about how do we make sure that we incorporate students into the celebration, and how do they feel as though they're a part of this moment and moving forward. And that's a big part for them as well. What does Colgate look like moving forward? They want to make sure that we talk about that. So timeline, a lot has been happening, a lot of planning. We should be finalizing the designs and the materials around the design in March, which is close. We'll be working on the web content, again, with content and stories from the community. And we'll be looking to launch a preliminary landing page for the website in March as well. So that's Bicentennial in a nutshell. We welcome any questions, comments, suggestions. We've gotten quite a few emails from folks with ideas, and we really welcome that. So thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christopher Wells, for those who don't know me. Senior Advisor to the President. The last 3 institutions I've worked for, I've had the same boss, and he has changed my job about every 18 months. That's actually been a real gift, because one of the things it's allowed me to do is to see the various ways that folks contribute to university, and to become invested in the nature of that work and the things that people need. The spring all-staff meeting is a particularly enjoyable one when we gather together, because it gives us a chance to celebrate and reward the contributions of a small number of our colleagues. The best possible Colgate, of course, does this on a regular basis, celebrating the work that gets done across campus to make the place function, and ensuring that the university is a rewarding place for folks to work. In my time in working in HR, I've been really lucky to get to talk to folks from across the university about how we can do this better. And I want to take this moment to thank, with great sincerity and very much, the folks who've taken time out of their day to come meet with me and think about what Colgate needs to be the best possible place for folks to work. This administration, I believe, in my core, is deeply, deeply invested in Colgate being an environment where all staff can be supported in doing good work and can develop themselves and thrive, and we'll continue working toward this goal. I'll echo what the President said. I feel deeply honored to be part of this staff, to be with you in the work that we're doing. So, as is our custom, let's take a moment to welcome our newest colleagues. We've had about 30 new faces join us since our last all-staff meeting in August. They're working in accounting, admission, institutional advancement and career services, athletics, biology, the bookstore, campus safety, communications, facilities, ITS, the library, the Picker Art Gallery, and residential life. Let me take a moment to ask that all new hires, folks who've come to the university since August, stand up so we can give you a warm welcome. For folks who are new to the area, winter's not done yet, but we're getting there. Moving on to the Staff Excellence Awards. This is fun. These were introduced in the fall of 2015. They've been tweaked a little bit since then. Nominations are solicited from the entire campus, and a committee then reviews the submissions and determines the winners. It is, I will say, in my time in HR, it is a lovely thing to read the recommendations and nominations that have come from across campus, folks who are thinking about the colleagues they work with and the ways that they contribute, and wanting someone to see and recognize the ways that they make this a better place. There are lots of terrific recommendations. We only have a certain number of awards that can get given out, but the process helps us see the various ways that folks are contributing and think about why folks are able to excel and what they need throughout the university to be able to do that kind of work. Let's see if I can do this. I did that. Staff Excellence Awards. It's the little things. Individual Excellence Awards are given to 7 employees in recognition for demonstration of sustained outstanding achievement in one or more of the following areas: effective communication, creativity and innovation, leadership and teamwork, change management, diversity and inclusion, and sustainability. This year we received 24 nominations for individual excellence. Each winning award winner will receive $500 plus 1 vacation day. Yeah, it's very nice. First nominee's dedication to student success in all areas of life is boundless, putting in long hours, working tirelessly to ensure that Colgate students know that someone is in their corner and wants them to excel. This nominee holds them accountable, creating an environment where responsibility is expected and successes are celebrated. Extraordinarily committed to the student-athlete experience, she is the epitome of a team player, a model of collegiality and respect for her students. Please join me in congratulating Erin DeMarco, Assistant Director of Compliance and Academic Services in Athletics. You're very good. We don't have to say a word.
Oh, sure. My word is speechless. I was welcomed into this community about 18 months ago with open arms, and it's been fantastic, so appreciate that. To work with so many amazing assets from our students, our staff, our faculty, our coaches, and I love the connections that we make across campus, no matter what department, so thank you.
Oh. I think this next nominee, seeing that I was asking folks to speak, may have slipped out the back. Actually, I think this nominee has a class that he had to get to, but I'll go ahead and read anyway. This nominee brings a creative eye, strategic imagination, and group leadership to every endeavor, demonstrating a wonderful ability to work within a team of diverse personalities, age groups, and abilities. He produces wonderful visual materials. This past year, working as part of a team of students and staff members that included facilities, ITS, and the library, he helped pull together the bicentennial exhibition Deo ac Veritati, Pursuing the Classics at Colgate, currently on display in K. Schuyler Library. According to his nominators, his creative vision gave the show pizzazz. His professional skills gave the show polish. His contributions made the show the success that it is. I don't know that he's here, but can you join me in congratulating Michael Holobaski? This next nominee mentors countless students while overseeing 2 important offices dedicated to the success and well-being of students. Always taking time for students, faculty, and staff, this person works tirelessly at providing a safe, educational, and nurturing environment where students and staff feel heard and can grow. She makes certain that students have the necessary resources to be successful both in and out of the classroom. She gracefully manages events and programs to create a welcoming and inclusive environment for all students in making Colgate their home away from home. Please join me in congratulating Kira Hunter. Kira is here, she's just far away, so. The last time I was up, yeah. It's for you.
Good morning. Wow, what a surprise. It wasn't just me, I'll say that. There are 2 staffs behind me that help with everything. Folks who care equally as much about our most vulnerable students. And some of you are in this room as well who help us do the work we do, so thank you. I'll go catch my breath now. Have a good day.
The next nominee is responsible for the care and consistency of the spaces that help to shape the experience of student athletes. According to his nominators, this nominee provides steadfast care to our athletic grounds with great attention to detail, whether it is plowing a field in time for a practice or creating the most consistent ice in the rink. He always goes above and beyond. His devotion and care for our athletes, coaches, and staff in athletics makes him a true member of the team. Please join me in congratulating Lauren Hutchings, groundskeeper. The next nominee has an infectious how can I help and can-do attitude. This past year in particular, this was noteworthy as she served as an outstanding resource for additional projects of the Board Governance Review and the Middle States Review. Her attention to detail in the conversion to an electronic Board of Trustee information management system and her guidance to leaders and board members alike during this transition was particularly noteworthy. Please join me in congratulating Maureen McKinnon. The next nominee. The recommendations for this next nominee testify that he is an outstanding asset to Colgate and the community, demonstrating excellence in every criteria specified in the staff awards guidelines. I'll quote at length from a nominator. He is a great communicator and has inspired many students, staff, and faculty to become champions for a sustainable campus. Under his watch, Colgate has become a leader in campus sustainability. Without his leadership, it is difficult to imagine the same extent of progress and change since his arrival. His work within change management has been transformative. Please join me in congratulating John Pamilia.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be working at such a great university, and the work of sustainability doesn't belong to anybody. So I work with countless people every year who are just a joy to work with. But especially, I'd like to thank Pamela Gramlich and Pat Cohan, if she's here, and then the other folks who I work with in the trenches know who you are, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
The final nominee for the Individual Excellence Award. This nominee has been instrumental in the implementation of a new records management system in admission. His experience as an admission professional has brought the perfect blend of technical and functional knowledge, easing that transition. He is a good listener, offers great suggestions, is a wonderful teacher, and perhaps most importantly, has a very calming demeanor, which I know they need in admission. He cares about Colgate, his colleagues, and the prospective students and their families. Colgate admission is in a very different place today than a year ago, and Dan Shanley has played a key role in this.
I think you got to get a little bit of a warning before you get something like this. That's true. Totally unexpected and so appreciated. Again, my work could not have happened without everyone that I've been welcomed into in the admission office. We've done a lot of really cool stuff in the last year, and it's only going to continue. And what a way to end a first year at a new college. This is wonderful. Thank you all, everyone, very much.
The next category is the Outstanding Contribution Award. This recognizes one member of the staff for a single outstanding achievement above and beyond their job responsibilities. This year we received 9 nominations. The recipient will receive $500 plus 1 vacation day. Ruh-roh. I'm good. This nominee freely gave her time, attention, and efforts to improving interpersonal relationships in the community in a structured and effective manner beyond the accomplishment of her daily management responsibilities. She facilitated the Yes Means Yes program, an interdisciplinary 6-week physical education seminar that addresses relationship skills and behaviors regarding sexual relations, safety, and assault, volunteering evening hours to discuss with students social issues that are quite sensitive. She is known for teaching students responsibility, not only for themselves, but also to each other. Please join me in congratulating Christy Mangini.
Wow. Yeah, I guess there's lots of people to say thank you for. Like, I love my job. I have to say that most of the people in here probably don't even know that we exist. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. I absolutely love working with the students, and I love being at Colgate very much just because of that. They actually give me hope for our future, and I absolutely love being a part of that. So thank you.
Team Excellence Award. This recognizes a group of staff members, usually multi-departmental and cross-functional, that's demonstrated exceptional teamwork. This year we had 11 teams nominated. Each team member will receive $100 plus 1 vacation day. This year the award goes to the Electrical Shop and Camp Colgate. The team members include Greg Dreschel, David Ride, Jim Ayers, Robert Bachman, Mike Schladd, Jim Hall, Ted Kowalski, and James Wilson. Colgate Camp in Saranac Lake was in dire need of a service upgrade to the main electrical systems, including a new service entrance transformer, new main distribution panel, and new electrical feeds to 14 buildings. After receiving bids from outside contractors, our own electrical shop estimated the job at a $30,000 savings to Colgate. In May 2017, the electricians traveled to Saranac Lake and joined forces with Colgate Camp staff to complete the first phase of a 2-phase project. 6 long days later, amidst the rain and mud, both phases of the project were completed, bringing the project in ahead of schedule and under budget. Congratulations.
I'm usually not at a loss for words, so I'll take over. Can't do my job without great support, and I have a great boss in Joanne Borfitz. We've had unbelievable support throughout the years from the university. For those of you that don't know, Colgate Camp is probably one of the best kept secrets for Colgate. We're located in the Adirondacks, and to have these guys come up last year and do what they did was unbelievable. And probably the number one reason we got the job done was because they knew how to delegate, and the first thing they did was hand me a shovel. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Employee of the Year.
This award goes to someone selected from this year's recipients of either the Individual Excellence Award or the Outstanding Contribution Award. Recipient receives an additional $1,000 and has their name placed on the Employee of the Year plaque. This year, the Employee of the Year award goes to John Pamilio.
Talk once?
Come on.
Yeah, I had no idea. So, but you know, this coming year is a big year for our campus in many, many ways, and we just heard a little bit about that. But we're poised to be a carbon neutral university next year, and we will be the first in New York State to accomplish that. And that's a big deal. We're going to be one of the first in the country, and that involves everybody on campus. If you work in a building, if you commute to campus, if you are involved in the day-to-day operations in any way, then that is a team effort. So this is what we're going to be working in the next few months. We're hosting the New York State Sustainability Conference in the fall. So we will have probably representation from 60 to 70 different colleges and universities from across the state that will be here on our campus to help us celebrate, and that we can showcase some of the good work that we're doing here. So these are just some slides. We had great help from communications, putting together some images and some facts about some of the work that we've been doing over the past few years. So thank you so much this is really a surprise. So, but thank you so much for all the help and for the harassment that I'm looking out and I see people who've harassed me all along the way. So thank you for that. It keeps me on my toes. So thanks.
With the blinding efficiency that will surely be associated with this administration in the history books later on, we have concluded our all-staff meeting. I do need to ask award winners to stick around for a group photograph at the end. The rest of you are free to go eat pastries and drink coffee. Thank you.